Hello and welcome to another Battleforge PvE replay cast. Today I'm going to show a two-player Battlegrounds map here, played by Treim, which was the map of the month, level 10 for February. So I'm somewhat late with this cast, but yeah, let's just take a look, because I think it was a very interesting map, as it was somewhat difficult in the early stage, as you can see with these Lost Vigils, and it also is a solo run. For a pretty difficult Lost Souls map. So let's just jump to the replay, and we can see 3 nomads in the first place. So fire start. This is mostly due to the Lost Vigils being very threatening to the tier 1. Fire tier 1 has the access to blaster cannon, which is a super high DPS anti-air building, and is pretty much unmatched, I think, in its the damage cost efficiency in tier 1. So a very important tool to get rid of these Lost Vigils here, and the nomads in general are pretty effective in PvE. So in order to do this camp here at this spot safely, you need to make sure that you don't pull up this base into your units, because the range of Lost Vigils is pretty high, so the aggro range is also pretty high, and once these ones start attacking your units over here, they may also go for your main base, and that could be the end of the match. So right now there's a little bit of collecting energy in the first place. I can make this replay a little faster for the start, because there's not that much happening, I think. So right now we can see the first engage. And yeah, there we go. Eruption spamming here onto this spawn camp, in order to make sure that it's sort of dying over here, and also, as you can see, the mine over here placed, in order to make sure that this spawn wave here gets blocked out here. So I'm not sure if this Lost Wanderer, okay, he makes it into position here, so only the archers are getting killed, but also the mana beast, which is very important. So very nice mine over here, very nice play. And the Lost Wanderer will probably be dealt with easily by like that nomad over here. I'm not sure if he's not stuck, right? No, he's not. I just thought that for a while, but I think he's just delaying the spawn of the next wave, because once you kill this guy, the next spawn wave will start hitting at a certain point. So the healing buff from the mana beast also ended up running out, so very important part here to clear this one effectively. Right now the blaster cannons are hitting the vigil, while these mines are going for the for the Twilight Tree Fiend here. And right here you can see the power of these blaster cannons, which is pretty cool. Like, really, this is so strong. Another mine here to get rid of the little guys over here. So he's probably leaving the blaster cannons, because there are vigils over here. Maybe he's trying to pull them in at a certain time where it's needed, or yeah, let's see what he does against the Rage Claw, the Twilight Claws that are left. Okay, he's not going for that, because he's using tier 2 in order to clear out remaining camps. Okay, it's probably better. So getting access to the first power worlds as early as possible, 3 minutes and 30 seconds or something, or I think it was even less. It was definitely less than that. So very early access to these power worlds, pretty important to make sure that you speed up the entire run. As you need to take these power worlds as early as possible. It will grant you a lot of bonus power throughout the game. So yeah, right now these waves are pretty easy to defend, and they are also safely out of the range for these Lost Vigils. It's just really tricky when you fight over here, that they may start attacking the main base. I think on this side maybe even worse. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe they can pull aggro here. I haven't played this map that often, so I can't tell how aggressive these vigils are in fact here. So Shadow tier 2 being built, probably for some Phoenix action, and the Furnace of Flesh, of course, pretty standard here. It's for the Void Return, always relevant, and Embalmer's Shrine being built. So yeah, This is pretty standard tier 2 stuff, as the Shadow Phoenix and Bombers combo is simply super powerful. And another Blaster Cannon, probably to get rid of the Vigils. I wouldn't see another reason for them being built here. So 5 minutes into the game, we are looking at the first attack onto the remaining bases over here. So, well, since he has to clear these additional bases on its own, as he has no teammate right now in this map, he really needs to be fast, because I think the 2v2 time limit is at like 29 minutes, I think, which is a lot harder than the usual one player version where you have like 42 minutes and, well, less camps to clear in fact. So pretty crazy that he made this run on such a difficult map of the month, because I think the start was really tricky, and he did a very good job at clearing with his first camp, and yeah, this saves a lot of time for the later game stages, because tier 4 stuff is always pretty powerful. If you have the right cards for the map, you shouldn't run into that big trouble. It's just about hitting the time here in like 29 minutes. It's pretty hard doing a difficult 2-player map solo. So another spawn wave coming in here. Energy gets pretty high right now, the energy level. So 4 phoenixes are already in the mix here. Let's see how many it takes in order to start attacking here. So we have like, let's see, not sure, there's no guy who goes for shields or something. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in the pathing of the phoenixes, because he sort of wants this base as early as possible, because it grants more resources, but there's also these spawn wave here hitting onto his tier 2. I'm not sure if he's trying to ignore that for now, or if he just goes into that. I think you should go for that first, but let's see. So 5 phoenixes are here in the mix, and he is heading for this camp. So probably 5, because the vigils may kill one, so just to be safe. So everything is cleared off, and you probably can draw the phoenixes over here, so the vigils will follow them in order to get eliminated by the blaster cannons. So that's what's happening right here, and all phoenixes are unbound. So pretty much 500 or like 450 power just went into the void. So these units are unbound, which makes them super powerful. And I think I mentioned this on other replay casts of Battlegrounds. So yeah, 7 phoenixes over here, which is pretty solid. 8, there we go, and I think that should be somewhat enough to clear the following camp here. So he's bringing in 3 phoenixes that he just spawned here. So all 8 phoenixes should be unbound right now, or 7. One of them didn't return, probably because the Furnace of Flash ended up stealing some of the corpses on the ground. But that shouldn't be too bad. So 9 phoenixes. Okay, he's summoning a pretty big army. Kind of interesting to see that. Maybe he needs remaining phoenixes in order to keep incoming spawn waves away, because the spawn wave that is coming from this camp here is pretty strong, as usually it is pretty strong, because it is an tier 4 spawn wave, so to say, and yeah, it's pretty hard to remove that without the phoenixes, with that combination, with that orb combination. So 2 phoenixes are not even crashing in. Maybe they end up dying here, or they do. That's a little unfortunate, and yeah, not optimal, but still pretty powerful clear here. And so these mind benders are also pretty annoying, because you cannot issue new commands onto units that are getting hit by this debuff. So I'm not sure if he's getting these are these following the phoenixes up into the main base? That would be pretty interesting. No, they don't. Okay, that would be cool. So you could finish them off with a blaster cannon. So let's see, is there any big? I didn't watch if there was any big spawn wave over here. It sometimes can be very annoying, but yeah, let's see. So mines are being used to make sure that these guys are no problem at all. And Embalmer Shrine being activated, pretty normal to make sure that this Phoenix revives. In fact, I think this one would have even revived without the use of Embalmer Shrine. So new blaster cannons are coming into play to get rid of the remaining air units. So for blaster cannons here, as Shadow Phoenix are simply unable to hit air units, which makes sense. So I'm not sure if he's trying to crash into this building over here with the two Phoenixes, so he can interrupt the incoming spawn waves over here. So yeah, first Phoenix, second Phoenix, that should be gone. There you go. And right now he's pulling the aggro of the ranged units in order to get into the range of the blaster cannon. So without the remaining camp, this should be an easy task. And honestly, the spawn waves hitting from this building are not as strong as I expected them to be, so everything should be fine. I think you didn't even need like to play four blaster cannons here in order to make this work, but yeah, that should be fine. So 11 minutes 30 seconds, getting the other power wells over here, and right now he destroys everything. And another Embalmer's Shrine. Interesting. Okay, so he destroyed these ones, and I see. Okay, that makes sense. So what he did here is leaving the Twilight Slayer, this archer, at like 1 HP, and now he builds up an Embalmer's Shrine to tank up the damage. So this archer is always in combat and not dying. He's not killing it for a good reason, because he wants to trap the spawn wave in between his tier 4 base and tier 2 base. As once this guy will stay over here, this base won't start spawning anything else, because the spawn wave is somewhat still active, and another one will only spawn once the remaining spawn wave is eliminated. So I think it will take some time up until this Embalmer's Shrine is getting destroyed by this single archer. So right now it's Shadow Orb. Resource boosters are coming in here, and yeah, nomads as well are getting killed here. Breeding Grounds, Cultist Master for Void Manipulation, and tier 4 is getting prepared for now. So the double Shadow here, very important to increase the resource income again. So right now he has 9 boosted power wells, which means he's getting like about the power of about 11 power wells here, maybe even 12. I'm not sure. It's like, yeah, I think it's even 12 power wells here. So that's pretty strong. Flame Crystal coming in right here to see. Yeah, that is what he was preparing. Lost Spirit Chips, Red Affinity. So this crystal will give them the buff of 50% extra damage due to rage. And yeah, Flame Crystal nearly ready here, and the Spirit Chip will clear the remaining units. Unholy Hero, so it gets through smoothly, because without like 3 or 4 lost Spirit Chips, it can be a little annoying with killing single units, especially the S units. Once they spread out, the damage gets reduced because the hitbox is a little bit buggy. But for now, that works well. Second Spirit Chip is getting played. Third Spirit Chip is getting played. He's probably going to use Rifle Cultist Offering in order to keep his charges at some point. And he's still has this Twilight Slayer here hitting this Embalmer's Shrine to make sure no spawn wave is coming in. Like, the most important part of it is like not the spawn wave itself, but it probably draws the entire camp into his T4 base, and that is something you definitely want to avoid. So yeah, very nice move to do that. So yeah, this is where the action starts happening, the T4 action. Those spirit chips are getting into the mix with a revenge to reduce the damage and the regrowth support. Fourth spirit chip over here getting played, and the rifle cultists are getting offered near the furnace of flesh in order to give some of that power immediately back into the pool. And now we can just watch these spirit chips taking over in this game. Number 5 is getting played here, and another rifle cultist. Not sure if he wants them for spawn presence right now, but you can always go for the offering maybe over here and then spawn the spirit ship immediately into the fight, so it doesn't have to take the entire path. Because since this is a 2-player map, it is pretty big, so spawning this thing here and letting it walk into the fight is sometimes a little painful. Yeah, pretty powerful. Always making sure that the revenge spell. Oh, no, it's not the revenge, but it's. I'm not sure if you played one. It's right now. It's the anti-magic aura here from this guy, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that some of these damage reduction spells are getting played for extra damage. Here, there it is, the revenge. It also does a little more damage, so it's getting played over the stone shell, which is technically a stronger damage reduction, but it doesn't reflect the damage itself, so it is getting preferred by some speedrunners due to the extra damage that you apply to clear camps a little faster. This is also why Cold Snap, for instance, is pretty unpopular in speedrunning, because you have like 50% damage reduction onto targets, and that is something you don't want. So right now this one dropped. So that is a little unfortunate. This is something that should not have happened, I guess. But yeah, losing power wells is always pretty big hits, because you lose this power permanently, and this simply slows you down for the game. But since he has a pretty solid army of spirit ships right now, it is not too bad for him. Like losing a power well early into the game would be a much bigger disadvantage. So yeah, spirit ships are going through the map. Not sure if he's using the flame crystal right now. No, he's not. But he's also preparing an incredible Mo right here, which is very important, because right here these lost dragons do have a ranged attack that is very powerful, because it disables all ranged attacks onto the units that it hits, and this would be pretty bad for the lost spirit ships. So with the yellow ability of the incredible Mo, you can prevent this from happening, and this is why it's getting used. So yeah, fire affinity here is activated. The red crystal is doing its work in the meantime. Some rifle cultists are getting spawned. I'm not sure if he's going for these power wells. I don't think he will do that. Maybe for one to get spawn presence or something, but I don't think he will take all power wells here, because it simply makes no sense. It takes like 3 minutes and 20 seconds to pay off in terms of power. Usually even a little more, because at that point you sort of got your power back, and that to get an advantage out of it, you want more time than that during the game. So rebuilding the resource boost, I didn't really rebuild that power well, because B simply doesn't want to go for that, as it just slows him down right now during such a late time here in the game. So another regrowth here, making sure that these heals are always coming in. So he kills the rifle cultists right now, seven spirit ships over here. So I'm not sure if he's trying to split on these armies here and go and fight the two camps at once, because there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be cleared. But yeah, for now these seven ships are really doing a lot of work, and with the benevolent Mo over here, This is really easy to clear right now, and I think only the camps over here may end up getting a little harder. But also these Lost Ark Fiends cannot attack air units, which is super good if you're running an air-only composition, like the Lost Spirit Ship spam itself here. And there comes the Motivate over here, because right now it's simply not worth it to like send in other ships from here due to the long time it takes to get into the fight. You usually just motivate them in order to give a 55% damage buff onto the Spirit Ship army itself. So right now he needs to make sure that this dancer gets killed, because otherwise it may just stand here and in the end you have to like search that one unit that is delaying the entire run, and that is super annoying. So he's just making sure that this doesn't happen. And yeah, going for the next camp here. He's leaving the spawn wave. It's heading for the T4 anyways, and he has like 2 or 3 spirit ships over here that are making sure that these incoming waves are getting defended. So also making sure that always Unholy Hero is getting used onto a spirit ship that is not in combat, or let's say that is not getting hit by anything else, to be a little more precise. Because once you take damage onto a unit that has Unholy Hero, it will inflict huge damage onto the entire camp. So right now he used it over here in order to make sure that his monument doesn't die, because you can see the spawn waves are pretty big that are coming onto his main base. So really needs these 3 spirit ships to defend first of all, and it will take a while up until he can join the big army of spirit ships. As you can see, like Unholy Hero getting used onto this ship here, and yeah, as it doesn't take damage, it is simply strong as a damage buff itself. So right now, yeah, this I think he needs to clear this with the Cultist Master or something. But right now he sort of merges the 2 armies here. As once he clears this camp and the rest of this one, there's only one path where the spawn wave may come from. Or no, never mind. There are 2 paths. But okay. So maybe he can sort of. I think if it spawns here, it will walk this path probably. So he can just catch the spawn wave before it can get close to the monument. And yeah, one spirit ship staying here to clear this. Is probably using this later on as motivate food. In the meantime, always making sure that these Nightcrawlers here are giving him some void back. So these worlds already depleted, so he could potentially destroy the resource booster. I think right now it doesn't matter, because his resources are pretty big, because he's 22 minutes into the game, and yeah, right here there is no needs for the extra 50 void in order to clear the remaining camps. Another Unholy Hero Motivate is getting used as well to increase the entire damage. It's super powerful, 55% extra damage onto all of these ships for like 30 seconds. Very powerful. And with the void manipulation, it's not that expensive as well. So right now the last camps are getting cleared. And okay, never mind. This spawn wave is going this path here, so he really needs to defend that here. I'm a little surprised that they take this path, but maybe that's common. I'm not sure. So yeah, this is pretty easy work here for these Lost Spirit ships. Two camps left, and I think just one boss here, the Doombringer here, will be the last resistance of the Lost Souls. 5 minutes are left on the board. And you can see like 800 power or something, pretty high number. You motivated the Spirit ship here again, as he didn't see any income getting close to his base. You will see these guys pretty soon, but he already resummons another Lost Spirit ship, as he simply has the power and probably also the charges due to the Rifle Cultist offering combination. And yeah, this is pretty satisfying to see how powerful these lost spirit ships are. Just imagine how strong these ships were pre-nerf when they did like 4,200 damage and not like 2,900. It was like 50% more damage than they do right now. It's like having a permanent motivate buff. So this, well, oh, he took it again. So I think right now it didn't matter anyways. But yeah, maybe because he also rebuilt the resource booster at some time. Not sure. So this Arc Fiend dies, and yeah, the spawn wave. Oh, they actually did it kill the spirit ship, or did he motivate that? Probably motivated to increase the damage over here, to increase the time, because you can safely still clear this afterwards with the spirit ship. And yeah, this Doombringer is getting destroyed. It takes a while because he has like that pretty huge damage reduction here, 30% less damage, pretty big HP pool, and also these spirit ships do have very low single target damage. So he's moving ships because, as far as I know, it increases the damage a little bit. Okay, right now the Doombringer also gets very low, and the replay ended. So pretty impressive run. I think especially the early stage of the game is very important here to make sure that this run is even possible, because usually it is pretty tough getting through these lost vigils in the tier 1 stage. And if you get the tier 2 base like at 7 minutes or something, and not at 3:30 like Treim did in this replay, you may just be unable to clear this in these 29 minutes. So at the end the time was 25:56, pretty nice solo time. I think that was the fastest solo time for the, maybe also the only solo run in February for this map of the month. The entire record for this month was also being played by Treim, where he did the run with Prittstift, and yeah, I think also a pretty nice run to watch, but it was somewhat similar in the tier 4 stage, and the technique was pretty similar, so I'm not going to show this replay as well. So I just thought I'll upload the solo run here, because I didn't do any solo 2-player rPvE 10 replay cast yet. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video, guys.